Ash, welcome back. We've been on the pitch for a couple of days now. Firstly, how nice has it just been to get back in and I suppose hit the reset button?
Yeah, 100%. It's been a long off season. As a lot has happened. I think first of all I have to mention how much I feel for the staff and players at Blackburn Rovers and the things that happened in the off season there. It's obviously not right that promotion and relegation and things like that are decided in boardrooms. It should be decided on pitch, and they earned that on merit. So I really feel for that. Obviously, we are the benefactors of that, and I think if we rewind 12 months ago and some of our situation was also being defined by what happened off the pitch rather than on the pitch. So in a way, it feels appropriate that if anyone was going to get a reprieve based on off-field factors, then it was us. Yeah, and for the last few weeks and months since that kind of stuff was done and dusted, we've been looking very much forward. We've done a lot of good work. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, as you can imagine, and yeah, I think we're in a real good place to be a lot more competitive than we were last year.
How pleased are you with, I suppose, where things are at? Because obviously, like you say, you were very open even at the end of last season when we asked, you'd already started planning for obviously going into the National League. Then obviously you've got to change those plans in terms of, I imagine, who comes in, who stays, who goes, and obviously you've had less time than others. So with where you're at the moment, coming back into pre-season, I suppose, how pleased are you with everything you've been able to do?
Yeah, I'm delighted to be honest at where we're at the moment. Like, I'm not asking for sympathy, but it was a difficult time for us as well over the summer with the uncertainty of planning to be in a different division, then getting the kind of rumours that things might change, and then getting the green light. Plus, adding into the fact that we had so many players out of contract is we had a lot of work to do essentially to sign a brand new team again. It's a credit to our ownership that we were in a position to take up the opportunities to be in the league. Um, we're now offering longer contracts, which isn't going to mean that year on year we have to negotiate contracts for a whole new squad, which is really positive. Um, and a lot of things have moved very quickly, and that's a credit to staff all around the building in how quickly we've been able to move. Like, it feels like we're announcing signings every couple of days, so it's a credit to even people like the media team, the marketing team, to be able to do that so quickly. Like, it doesn't just happen, it doesn't just kind of pop up on social media. So yeah, the things have been working a lot in the off season, and I think we're in a great place now. We've got the core of our squad in. We want to add a couple more faces in the next coming days and weeks, so that we'll have, like I say, a real competitive squad for WSL2.
Is it pleasing as well in terms of the areas you've been able to develop? I think we knew where we maybe lacked a little bit last season. You've gone out, got some of those top targets that you wanted, and I know you said last season, particularly players with championship caliber and even players that have played the level above that can potentially hit the ground running.
Yep, 100%. We were a young, inexperienced squad last year. Um, Fought really well, but I think lacked quality in key moments. I think you look at the front end of the pitch is a great example. We didn't score enough goals, so to add people like Amy into the group with more people kind of coming in that area soon, I think we're in a much healthier place in that area. But yeah, it gave us an opportunity really to refresh. Across the board really from back to front. So it'll be another year of having quite a new look squad. Pre-season will be probably as difficult for us as it is for anybody with so many new faces coming in. I'm still learning about the group, they're still learning about me. So yeah, there's still a lot of work to do. Like, we're under no illusions. We're not just going to turn up and everything's going to be perfect, because there's still a lot of work to do behind the scenes. But yeah, we're pleased at the business we've done so far, the ones that we think are going to come in the next coming days and weeks, and we'll be in a good place.
I mean, just looking ahead to pre-season, you mentioned it there. Obviously, it's quite a busy schedule in terms of games. Obviously, again, something you didn't always get the chance to do last year. What are you, I suppose, looking at, in terms of the games that you've put in and what you want to get out of things over the next 7 weeks before the season starts?
Look at everything, to be honest. Like I say, it's a new group, so they need to understand what it is to be a Sheffield United player first and foremost from the foundations. About the city itself, there's a lot of people moving to the city for the first time, and then once we get into the games and we get into the football, I'm still learning about some of those individuals. So learning, what partnerships are going to work. how we get the best out of those individuals, how we develop them. And yeah, we've got some tough games. We've got a few teams in WSL 2, a couple of teams in WSL 1. So we've got a real mixed bag. But yeah, we want a challenging, competitive 6 or 7 weeks, so that when we come to the first game in September, we're in a much better position, a much healthier position to go and really compete against anybody. And that will be our mantra and our intentions, is there'll be no limits on what we can achieve this year, and the teams that we're going to go and try and beat.
Well, finally, I mean, you kind of preempted me there in terms of aims for the season. I mean, obviously, people will look at last year and have maybe a certain expectation, but given the different circumstances, is it hard to set aims? Have you got aims in your head of where you think this team can go, or given the reprieve that we got, are you looking sort of game by game?
Yeah, it's hard to set the kind of aims that you're going for in the season, because there's still so many unknowns. There's some really good teams come up from the division below. There's a great team in Palace coming down, so it'll be the most competitive league I think that it might have ever been. Um, when you look at some of the financial power that's floating around the league now, it's a little bit scary. So we're under no illusions that we are still where we are in terms of budgets and finances and things like that. But that won't be an excuse come the Sundays and the Saturdays, and we'll be looking forward to, like I say, to put no limits. There's no team in that league that we don't think we can go and get 3 points against, and that will be our intentions, no matter what, really. And we'll see what comes.